of Ask Dr. A. I've got some questions here that have come in on our Facebook page. They've come in on Instagram. They've come in on the Twitter. So lots of questions being asked this week. So if you guys have any more you want to include, go ahead and put it in the comments below. I take questions for a couple minutes every Wednesday before our webinar that we are doing tonight is on unraveling emotional and mental health concerns. So that's going to be really cool. That is in the Absolute Chiropractic Community Wellness Facebook group. It's a private group. Go register on Eventbrite really quickly if you guys want to get access to that. It's called Unraveling Mental and Emotional Health Challenges, I think is what the name of it is. Either way, just if I mess up the title, it's lots of good information. So we for these couple minutes take questions on life, health, chiropractic, physics, whatever the heck else you guys want. I am an open book and I like addressing any questions, comments, concerns on any topic that you guys have. And tonight I will even have some props, so it's going to be cool. So first off, I don't know if you guys on Instagram, in the Instagram story, I put up, have you guys ever done, let me know, put a comment or something like that. Let me know if you guys have ever done one of the things where you put in and ask a question and then people respond with the question. Have you guys ever done that in your Instagram story before? Does that make any sense? Do I need to describe that differently? So I did that for the first time, and I've never had so much spam before with people asking me to like their page and grow their audience and everything like that. So it was something that was really interesting. And yeah, if you guys ever put in those questions, I hope that you get spam too. All right, we have some questions coming in on Instagram from Carolina. So Miss Carolina, I'm going to get to that, so you better hang out because we're going to get to that. That's the last question now. So I don't remember things, so I have to write them down. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to get to it. All right, so here we go. Question 1. If you didn't have to sleep, what would you do with the extra time? If I didn't have to sleep, what would I do with the extra time? Now, that is a big, we're getting deep here on these questions, huh? If you didn't have to sleep, you guys post in the comments what it is that you think you would do. If I didn't have to sleep, what would I do? First off, man, this whole world would be under chiropractic care because, this thing would be not, Becky says is a good question, yeah. This thing would be nonstop, right? I can't shut up about this as it is. I really like reading and learning. So I'm assuming if I didn't have to sleep, I'm thinking like long term. So I'd probably do a ton of traveling. I'd probably do a ton of just get more people under chiropractic care because it's amazing. It's the best thing that you could ever possibly do for your health. I would probably read a ton. So I would probably read a ton just because that is something that I think is really cool to just like have as much knowledge about as many different topics as possible because if we don't understand history, it's bound to repeat itself. So yeah, I don't have a really cool, really solid one-line answer there, but it's going to be multiple stage. If I didn't have to sleep, I would probably read a ton, learn a ton about a lot of different topics. I would probably get an additional degree in neurology. It's probably something that I would do. I would definitely spend a lot of time talking to people about chiropractic care. That's something that is hugely important to me, and I'd probably get some traveling in too. Heather says, I'm going to put this up too. Would my kids still be sleeping? LOL. If I didn't have to sleep and my kids were sleeping, I would be reading. Yeah, I think that, some people, sleep is pretty cool. So even if I didn't have to sleep, I'd probably put some time aside for sleep too, just because I really like having dreams. Speaking of dreams, before Carolina goes to sleep, she did ask a very specific question. And that question was, what is your favorite fruit? Guys, is an avocado a fruit? I feel like an avocado is a fruit. Someone here has to know if an avocado is a fruit. If an avocado is a fruit, I'm going to go with that. Otherwise, well, tomato's not a fruit. Tomato's a vegetable. That's the one that I always mess up. I love tomatoes. But maybe Nectarine. Oh my gosh, I crush some nectarines. I absolutely love nectarines. So avocado or nectarines, Carolina. I hope you have a good night's sleep. That would be awesome. So that's question 2. Wow, guys, if you thought that sleep question was good, here's another good one. If all jobs had the same pay and hours, what job would you like to have? Guys, I would do chiropractic. 100%. That is what I would do. This is the reason that I wake up in the morning, because it's flippin' amazing. And the coolest thing is it doesn't add anything or take away anything from the body, but we just help people heal because they live the life that they are designed to live. Like when somebody has, I mean, we had a testimonial last week. This is going to sound a little bit out there, so just bear with me. If you guys have been in our practice before, you know that we get really wild results. But if you guys are just kind of popping in really quickly, just bear with me. There's a science to it, and we're not going to get into it here. But I had a young woman who had suffered with something called anosmia, which is loss of smell following an accident years ago, and her smell came back. So she has teenage boys, so that she was unsure whether or not that was a good thing or bad thing, because if you guys have teenage boys, you know that they smell not good. So her smell actually returned, and the cool thing about that is it's not like we gave the smell adjustment, right? The fact is that her brain controls and coordinates the function of every system in the entire body, and when we corrected the irritation and interference and allowed her brain and body to communicate better, allowed for proper blood flow through all the different parts of the skull, allowed for proper alignment of the spine, her body was actually able to heal. And that's pretty cool. So that's the stuff that I get to see every day. Whether it's kids getting less phone calls home from school, well, maybe not now, but usually, or less antibiotics, or less spitting up, or colic, or sleeping better, or breastfeeding better. I mean, this is just what I was born to do. This is my favorite thing in the entire world. So if all jobs had the same pay and hours, I would be working overtime because I can't get enough. Now, I can't tell if this next question was spam or not, but I like it, and we're going to go with it. Somebody just wrote, "How are you doing?" And I'm doing pretty well. How are you? If you ask me any question in the world, how are you doing? I'm pretty good. Thanks for asking. Really appreciate that. Not everybody asks, but thank you. Next, my son is 2. Is that a good age to come? Yeah, earlier the better. Most common time for subluxation, which is a misalignment of the spine that causes irritation in the nervous system, is during something that each and every one of us has done. I promise we've all done it, because nobody was dropped off by aliens that I'm aware of, and that's been born. Especially with the normal birthing process, it can put a lot of pressure, tension, irritation on the head and neck, just simply because we're pulling a big head through a tiny hole, and with like modern obstetrical procedures, it just adds extra tension on the head and neck, because the brain, hold on one sec, controls and coordinates the function of everything in the entire body. You guys are going to hear me continuously say that because that happens. What happens is any irritation in the nervous system is going to stop this wonderful thing from happening. I'll give this to you and to Instagram down here, both at the same time. This is something called the pyramid of learning. So let's see if both of you guys can see it. So down here, and we go over this in our mental, we go in this or in another webinar on autism, ADHD. So stay tuned for that stuff. But this is really cool. It's something called the pyramid of learning. Down here at the bottom, this is how babies learn right in the beginning. If you think about it, a baby when they're first born, the way that they experience the environment is by putting everything. It's 3 things. It's putting everything in their mouth. It's touching everything with their hands and feet, and it's by gaining head control. Gaining that head control, it's something called proprioception, which sends a lot of information up to the brain. And once that happens, once those pathways are developed in the brain, it allows for greater actual areas and levels of development. They can move up into integration of primitive reflexes, postural security, body scheme, motor planning, Up from there goes audio skills, visual skills, and up from there goes daily activities of living, behavior, and academic learning. Oftentimes what we see is that we'll see kids who have these kind of issues in school where behavior's off, and we're like, oh, it's a discipline problem. But the question is it really a discipline problem, or did we just not allow for that proper development of the nervous system? And chiropractic is a huge part of making sure, especially pediatric chiropractic, is a huge part of making sure that that nervous system is developing properly in the first place to allow us to ascend that pyramid. So go on Eventbrite, sign up for one of those webinars if you guys want to go ahead and jump on there. But yes, long story short, 2 is an amazing age to come. Okay, next question. Lots of food questions. Last week somebody asked me, and Laura, this is for you. Last week somebody asked me what the craziest thing I ever ate was, and I mentioned that I love doing the Hoffman's ice cream challenge, the octopus challenge, which is on August 8th. It's $8 to get 8 scoops of ice cream, 8 toppings, and if you continue, and if you do it in 8 minutes, you get a T-shirt. And I got the T-shirt and finished in 5.5 minutes. So somebody this week asked me, what is your favorite healthy food? What is my favorite? I mean, I already mentioned avocados and nectarines. I don't know if that counts. But if you make a healthy fajita, I'm down with that. I am down with that. Let's just get Monsanto out when we get them out of the picture in terms of the corn, because I like corn tortillas, but let's do non-Monsanto corn for our tortillas. How's that? If anybody knows of a good way to make non-Monsanto, non-Roundup corn, non-Bacillus thuringiensis GT, BT, or GMO corn to make in my tortilla, let me know. I'm so down. I will make it. Thank you. Okay, that's that question. So I included some of these spam questions because I thought they were funny. So here's another question, and I want to dissect this. Would you like motivation-free mentoring? Reply the answer. Well, would I like motivation-free mentoring? I don't know. I kind of want all of my mentorship to be pretty motivating. So I don't know what motivation-free mentorship is. I didn't reply the answer, but my answer here would be no. No, I want to be very motivated when I'm mentored. But thanks for asking. Okay. What is the best show currently on Netflix? Is Seinfeld on Netflix? I don't know. I don't really watch too much Netflix, and we've been an essential healthcare provider, so we haven't been sitting at home binging, if that's kind of what you were getting at, because we've been working the whole time. Although we haven't been doing events on weekends, so I'm not gonna lie, I binged a little bit. I checked out Ozark, and I could go without it. I'm sorry if you really liked it. What is the best show on Netflix? I have a really foul sense of humor, so most of the shows that I watch or see, I wouldn't recommend watching around your children. I think Better Call Saul is a really funny show. I really like that. My wife didn't really like that. If Breaking Bad is on there, it's good. If, like I said, if Seinfeld is on there, I'm a big fan of those kind of shows. They're different, but yeah, good. The Chef Show. Oh my gosh, could I watch Jon Favreau cook food and talk about it all day? Yes, I could. I absolutely could. The Chef Show. I love that movie. They do a second line brass cover by the Hot 8 Brass Band of Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing that I can crank up and listen to on repeat for hours and hours and hours and drive Colleen absolutely crazy. So the Chef Show. Okay. And Evie asked me, thank you, what is your favorite coffee? Last week somebody asked me where I bought my coffee beans, and I said Turnstile Coffee. And this morning, before Evie asked that question on Facebook, I it smells so good. I actually went to Turnstile and fresh picked up a new batch. So this is a Brazilian Cerrado bean. And if you guys are really big coffee people, I'm not a roaster. I don't know that much, but apparently this is pretty low acidity, kind of like a cocoa, really creamy, dolce type flavor. And it smells amazing. I usually do really fruity, like really acidic coffees. So this is going to be something a little bit different for me. So I am looking forward to diving into that. Guys, that was all the questions that I had for today. Oh, Fan Mom Patty, is Molly still your only baby? First of all, it's Maggie. It's Maggie. What the heck? It's Maggie, and she's amazing. And yeah, she's still my only baby. By the way, Miss Patty, in tonight's webinar, I don't know if you're lined up to join us, but I have actually clipped something that you had written online, and I included it in the webinar. I don't think I ever even told you because you wrote it online. And next to it, I include for your picture. Oh, okay, I include the picture of you and Maggie licking your face. So thank you for being there, because that was puppy Maggie time. And does anybody want to see a picture of Maggie? Let's see if I can pull one up really quickly. Let's see what I got. Okay, let's go ahead. And this is it's almost time for me to run to this webinar. So if you guys are hanging on really quickly, post another question, I could answer it. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to pick up a picture of Maggie and put it on the screen really quickly for you guys. See if I have anything new. We've got 10 minutes till unraveling emotional and mental illness, which is going to be a game changer. I love this webinar. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. All right, let me go ahead and authorize this computer to, yes, that was me. Oh, cool, I'm back. All right, let's see. Let's see if I have a picture of Maggie. Okay. Oh my goodness, she's so dang cute. She's really scared of thunder, and so when it thunders out, she's my thunder buddy. And let's go ahead and see. Let's see. People are hanging on to watch this. Let me share the screen here, so you're gonna be able to see everything I have here. Cool. All right. Let me show this in the stream. Oh my goodness. I'm going to flip around Instagram right now. How do I flip it around? So this is me being her thunder buddy. Ah! Can't get enough. Look at that face. All right. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Ask Dr. A. I hope I got to ask all of your questions. When I put up, I'll put 24 hours most likely in advance tomorrow's episode, or make sure you check out on Instagram or Facebook, wherever it is that you follow us. If you guys want to join us on the webinar tonight, jump in on Eventbrite. Make sure you get on there. It's going to be amazing, and I hope you guys got to have some fun. Hope you guys got to learn a bit. We talked a little bit more about chiropractic and the nervous system than last time, so I hope that was fun for you guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot us a DM or a message or whatever else it is. And anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the rest of your day. And hello, Sylvia.